Back to keep us company this week with his soon-to-be 5th number one in less than 3 years. Bailey Zimmerman, our ACM nominee. Welcome back.
Hey, thanks for having me back.
Is it wild to like hear that, like 5th single in less than 3 years?
Yeah, man. Honestly, everything in life right now is insane. Yeah.
Still feel like you're
hard,
in that. Yeah.
It's hard to even comprehend being here talking to you. It's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
Or just like think about how different your life is in probably like what, 4 years total?
Oh, yeah.
Like when you look back to like, is there like, do you ever think like if I could tell myself what the world would be like now, is there any chance that Bailey like 4 or 5 years ago even believes that's possible?
Yes. Because I was like I remember it all the time. I think back to like being like, oh yeah, I just got to keep working hard. I just got to keep grinding. I just got to keep going. And he would probably be like, we did it. And I'm like, yeah, we did everything that you thought you were going to do. And he's like, no way. And I'm like, yeah, and we even did this and this. And you don't even know about that. And yeah, it was so crazy. Yeah.
I feel like you're in a similar position. Jelly Roll always talks about this. Like, I got to start dreaming bigger because all my dreams keep coming true that like I almost can't like move the goalpost far enough to like think about what I want to do next.
Which is fun too, because sometimes stuff you can't even, like, I would say, not only this, Luke Combs collab, but also the Big X collab.
Yeah.
That was like out of the blue, and I never thought I'd be able to do something like that, and
for sure.
Now, like, I'm just like, what else can I dream up? Like, what else can we do, baby? Let's go.
I know, right? I want to talk more about both of those things, but first let's talk about Holy Smokes. Currently in the top 10. By the time this airs, it'll be much closer to number one.
Let's go.
Yes. Talk about the day that you guys wrote this song and kind of like what was the inspiration for it, how it came about.
So I didn't write this one.
Okay.
It was, oh gosh, I got ADHD so bad. Hold on, give me a sec. Michael Tyler, Ben Stennis, Laura Alexander. Pretty sure.
That sounds right.
That sounds right. Yeah.
We'll edit it. We'll make sure it's right.
Okay. But that sounds right. So, yeah. Ben Stennis, Laura Alexander, and Michael Tyler. And they sent it to me. And they were like, yo, what do you think of this song? And first listen, I was like, dude, oh yeah. Because the first reason being it related to me so much, it was scary. It was like, this song is so my life and exactly how things went that I could have wrote this song. And that's how I felt. Like I knew it was like, this is my song. I got to sing this song. And then when I put my vocal on it for the first time, I was like, this song is so easy to sing for me. It's like my song. And then, yeah, to see it, oh man, it's so nice. It's so cool. It's like the best feeling in the world when you see something that you believed in work like it is. It's just like, let's freaking go.
Yeah,
let's go.
It's really exciting. How do you handle, because I feel like probably a lot of times now everybody's like sending you songs like, hey, we wrote this, it sounds like we had you in mind. Like that's gotta both be like flattering and I'm sure overwhelming sometimes, like getting stuff like that.
Actually, it's like my favorite thing. I actually love listening to songs for hours and hours and hours. I'll listen to, like, I'll stop what I'm doing to go listen to a song somebody sends me just because it's like the most exciting thing ever. Like, this could be my next thing.
Yeah.
This could be my next song that I put out, so let's go freaking listen to this thing. Yeah. And, 9 times out of 10, it's like something that you're not looking for or sounds too close to this or that. But, man, I've never appreciated songwriters more than really I do now. Like, just they've had such a massive part of my career and helping me tell my story, because it's hard. It is hard for me to like be on the road and be thinking about just all these creative things around albums and the show itself and just like writing songs. So when I can give them an idea that I have and they can go write that, it's so nice because they're like helping me tell my story. So yeah, shout out freaking songwriters.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's yeah. So yeah, I'll listen to songs all day, every day. It's my favorite thing to do.
For sure. And it's kind of like you probably are at the point now where you understand why people have to like schedule time in their calendar to take off to write. Because if you don't like just spend time living, like it is hard when you're like on the road and all these things and you're tired all the time. Like you're not having the same kind of inspiration you would in everyday life.
Yeah, you're kind of just pushing yourself a little like over the edge, trying to like do everything all at once. And it just gets to where you're not writing with the same intensity and passion that you should be writing with. And that's, I took I didn't put out a record last year because I thought I'm going to write more for this one. And I have some songs that I really want to write and that I'm close to, but I don't want to put them out this year. I'm going to put them out next year, and I'm going to put out all this stuff that I've got next year because I'm going to keep working. And I'm so glad I did that because it gave me the time to write with passion and gave me time to really hone in on what am I trying to say out of this album? What do these songs mean to me, and why are they on the album, and why are they placed where they're at? And so, you definitely need allotted time to let yourself not only calm down from the road and calm down from all like these not real life days and nights, and then you can start getting back into like, okay, I can start clearly thinking about this idea and what I want it to be and really lock into that, So yeah, super important. And shout out songwriters. Thank you for helping me tell my story because wouldn't be here without you. So.
Exactly. All right, let's talk about the Luke Combs collab. By the time this airs, that will officially have dropped.
Yep.
So tell me, like, how did this happen? Who wrote this song? How did it come to? I want to know everything.
It's insane. So I had the song Backup Plan in my notes for a long time before I sent it to Luke. And so the writers of it are Tucker Bethard and
I don't know
Jimmy Bell.
Okay.
Sorry, dude, ADHD. It's awful. It's so awful. We've got so many writers on this album.
Yeah.
But okay, so Backup Plan was written by Tucker Bethard and Jimmy Bell, and Tucker Bethard sent me the song and was like, "Hey man, this is just a cool song." And when I first got it, it was like it was a little chiller than what everybody's hearing now.
Like mid-tempo,
it was like chiller. It was like more swampy, like chill. But then we were like, nah, this song needs to be big. So I cut it in the studio immediately and was like, dude, I love this song. And when I first got the first like rough vocal back of my vocal, all I could hear was Luke Combs being on the second verse. I was like, dude, this would be sick. But I didn't know Luke. I didn't have his number. And to me, it means something when you have a relationship with the artist you want to do a song with. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to keep this in my back pocket. And if I ever meet Luke and I feel like, I should show him the song, I'm going to do it. So then Luke ended up inviting me to the concert for Carolina. And we hung out like a bunch during the day, and the guy was like so nice, and we kind of like kicked it off, and then we ended up doing a song that night and hanging out, and he gave me his number, and I didn't show him the song that day, and I didn't text it to him for a long time after that too, because I was like super nervous.
Yeah.
Because I was like, man, is this the song? Is this the right one? Is it, all these things, just questioning. And then finally one day I was like, dude, screw it. Just send him the song. Like if he says no, that's fine, but just send it and you'll never know if you don't. So sent it, and yeah, he didn't respond for like, man, a month. It took him a month to hit me back. And it was fine.
No, but you had to have been like in the 48 hours after sending that text.
The suspense was unreal. The suspense was unreal. And, we had some people around him that was like, hey, yo, it's not a no from Luke. He's really been jamming this song. He's been showing people this song. So just hold out. Like, he doesn't do a lot of collabs. He doesn't do a lot of things, and so, give him time on this. And I'm like, okay, like, no pressure. No worries. And then all of a sudden one day he texts me and he says, this song rips, I'm in, period. And I'm like, the most anticlimactic, climactic, climatic. The suspense had been building forever with me. Yeah. And then all of a sudden it's like, just, I'm in. I'm like, I was like silent, like super freaking pumped in my studio. And yeah, and then now we have a song together, and we did videos together, and doing all the content with him was so fun. And man, playing it with him at Stagecoach was so lit. And yeah, it's just a dream come true for me, a full circle moment, because my first full band show I ever played was in 2021, I believe, and it was at Rock the South, and Luke Combs was headlining that night. But I played at 2 p.m., and I watched his set that night. And then to go all the way back around, my first big country collab is with Luke now, and that's just so crazy to me. It's like the testament. It's like the testament of the song. You know, the testimony is like, man, there's so many times that I've had in the last, not only in the last year, but in the last 4 years of my being a country artist, like falling on my face in front of a lot of people and disappointing a lot of people a lot. And, you know, learning from that is like the testament of backup plan is like, yo, I could have quit. There's a lot of people that are telling me you should, but I didn't. And I'd have never known, man. I'd have never had the song with Big X. I'd have never had the song with Luke. It's like, man, yeah, you got to keep going. You have no backup plan. And when people are telling you that you should quit, that's more of a reason to not quit. Don't quit. Keep freaking going. So, yeah, it's just a full circle moment and such a testimony to everything we're talking about. It's just like, gosh dang, keep freaking going, you know?
This is awesome. I love that, because when I saw the title of it, I was like, I wonder what this is going to be about. And I wasn't expecting it to be such a like heartfelt message of like, there is like, the backup plan is like, you just get back up.
Yeah.
Which is like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't like think of another song to even compare that to, which is like, I'm, you know, as songwriters or people listening to music, you're like, how many times can somebody write something that's a sentiment that I haven't heard before?
Right.
But I think it's just such a great anthem, and I love how big you guys made it.
Thanks.
I know you said you've been spending some more time with Luke. What have you like learned about Luke, spending time with him, or learned to like really appreciate about like how he works on stuff?
He's a really good idol to have. Like my biggest goal in life is to have like a wife and kids. Like that's, you know, I'm always like, oh, I'm single, but I'm like, for real, like I actually do want kids and a farm and like 10 golden retrievers and a wife. And that's like my ultimate goal. And just seeing Luke, how he, you know, really makes his kids and his wife like such a priority, and his family such a priority. Man, I don't know. I just really respect him a lot. And I still get nervous around the guy because I respect him so much, because I'm just like, dude, not only are you just an insane artist that has done it all right, but gosh, as a family man, you're just crushing it. And it's like, yeah, I look up to him so much. So yeah, I would say, yeah, he's just, gosh, such a great guy.
That's such an interesting thing that you say that, because I feel like, yeah, you can get starstruck around anybody, and that kind of like wears off in this business. But when you have so much respect for someone, you're almost like, there's so many things I want to ask you, because like I really do look up to you. That's a whole different feeling.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, when you really respect somebody, you're like, dude, you're impressive. Like, you impress me, and you're like, whoa, I aspire to be something like you. Like, yeah, so, oh, yeah. I'm still like, whoa.
Yeah,
freaking Luke Combs, bro.
Amazing. All right, so this is the first of really like the new music that we're hearing off of this new project that you're talking about, that you've been working on. And we were talking before we turned the mics on just about how like crazy it is that Religiously came out 2 years ago. Like in my mind, it was just last year.
Yeah.
That May 2023, so we're coming up literally on 2 years. So like, what can you say about this next project? Like what you wanted to say with it, what the message is, why these songs?
Oh, there's so much. It is 2 years of like going, I love the song, I hate the song. I love this song, I hate the song. It's so 2 years of like questioning and trying to make everything right and make it to where I love it, and just put like my all into like every single song, put my all into the creative around it. I really want to show people that I'm a real artist. Like I'm a real country artist. Not even that, I'm a real artist. I can do anything. I'm doing everything, and I want to show like my growth and how hard I've been working on to get my voice better and my production better, and like, you know, knowing what production is and how to do it. You know, I've this whole record I helped do almost everything in the studio, and I just want people to see my growth as an artist, and I want people to see like, yo, I'm here to stay. I'm here to like put my name here, and like I've got a lot to say. And yeah, this new album is just the last 2 years of my life. And really, I would say The album itself is where I'm at now, but it also jumps back to how I used to feel. Some of the feelings that I didn't get to say on Religiously, the album, are on this album. And there's a couple stories from, back in like 2018 that I wrote about that I always wanted to say but could never do it. And then I finally wrote the song that I loved. And so, yeah, I would say it's a new era of me. And I would say it's taken all of everything I've done and combining it, and it's like this new thing. There's things that go a little bit out there that are like experimental songs, a couple of them, but then you still have these really sad, emotional songs that mean a lot to me. And then I've got this new sound that I'm really going after that's just something I haven't done quite before, I guess. Like, I haven't done it like I'm doing it on this new record. So
How would you describe it? Like, who knew how?
oh man, I don't even know. It's just something that I've never heard before personally, and that I'm
Okay.
like super stoked to be chasing. And it's like, I would say it brings more of the country out of me without being like, oh, that just sounds like you did a country song. It's like, the last 2 years I've really focused on a few of these songs and making sure they sound not like anything else, but they feel like they fit in the space, I guess.
The genre, the
the
lane.
genre,
Yeah,
the genre,
yeah.
I guess. But it's like, I call it, it's not just BZ trying to do Western. It's like BZ Western, small town, like who I really am.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd say I'm trying to portray that too. Like,
Yeah.
who I really am is like, I don't know. The easiest way I would say is like, who I am is, I was born and raised in a small ass town, and where we farmed, and I drank beer on Friday nights. Well, we drank beer every night, and we threw parties, and there was nothing to do, so we made something to do. And like, I grew up just like every other small town country ass kid, but I didn't wear boots. I wore like sneakers and like
Yeah.
flat bill hats, and I didn't really like bootcut jeans. I liked more skinny jeans. Like, so I would say I'm just trying to like portray who I really am, so nobody gets it mixed up, and I guess just show like my growth as an artist, and yeah, and to tell more stories.
Yeah.
I feel like these stories on this new record are just like stuff I haven't really said before, but it's still gonna like scratch that itch, I guess.
For
So,
sure.
I could talk about it forever.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's been 2 years in the making, but yeah, man, I'm so freaking excited for people to hear all this stuff. Yeah.
It's so funny that as you were talking about that, I was like, that sounds so much like where I grew up, but I forget, like, we both grew up in Illinois. I
Yeah.
grew up like central Illinois, you a little
Yeah.
bit more southern, but that is exactly how I grew up. Like, grew up surrounded by farms. I didn't farm. My family didn't
Yeah.
farm. And I've always felt like, people, like, there's this constant argument right now about like what country music is and all these things.
Right.
And I'm like, I feel like I grew up country, but if you'd asked me growing up, I'd be like, we're not in the country. Like, I'll drive you out to the country and show you that. But like,
Yeah.
still, it was the soundtrack to our life. And I think that that's still like, that's a lot of people in America that grew up like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, hearing you talk about that, I feel like you've had a crazy couple of years, but what I'm hearing from you is like, you're finding your footing and like really finding your sound. And that's what like people struggle with in their sophomore album. So the fact that you're there, like, kudos to you, dude.
Thanks.
It's a good place to be.
No, it's crazy to even be here because it's taken up until now to get there, if that makes sense. Like,
Yeah.
there was a long time, like there was a year and a half of like being like, I have no idea what's going on, and I don't know. I'm still trying to figure this song out and that song out, and this production is not right, and all these things aren't right, and it's not aligning. And then all of a sudden, everything started like piece together and started sounding right, and I got this song right, and I got that song right, and I just like, yeah. So it was like, man, I'm so glad. I almost put the album out last year.
Really?
I almost put it out. I was close to, I was going to put it out. And then something in me, I prayed about it a lot. I was like, man, I don't feel great about this. I don't love the way these songs are right now. I want them better, and I want this better, and I don't like how, I just didn't like anything.
Yeah.
And I went to everybody and I was like, I'm not putting the album out. And they were like, what? And I'm like, no, I can't. Like, I just can't. I'm not going to be happy with it. And that's just not fair to anybody. Like, it's not fair to me. That's not fair to the fans. It's not fair to anybody. I need to really focus up on this. I'm not focused right now. I'm not locked in, and I need to get locked in. And, you know, I was going through like a rough time in life too at that, just like, you know, we were like really, we had been on the Morgan tour and like it was crazy and I hadn't really like processed any of that, and I was still trying to live life too and be normal and me, and I didn't even know who me was and all these things. And then I started finding who I was and started being okay with who I am and loving myself, and started to and that's when everything started to come together. Was like, man, I got out of this slump. I found happiness again. I was happy. I was excited about music and about everything. And then it all just started to piece together. And now it's finally all together and everything feels so, so good. And I'm so freaking excited about this new record. So yeah, I've found my sound, and I really hope people dig it and like just feel all the hard work, because I put a freaking lot of hard work into this one. So
I think people always know when an artist starts making the art that is the most genuine to them, and that's when things like hit another level. And so I know that fans are going to be so excited for you. I also want to talk about your big ACM nomination for New Male Artist of the Year. What was your reaction to that? Were you awake for the news?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you were.
Of course. Right. Well, of course I am.
So many people like sleep through that news because we don't. A lot of times we don't get a heads up before it's like.
Well, I don't be sleeping. So I don't sleep that much. I'm like wired. Like at 7 a.m. It's like I can't wait to bounce out of bed.
You strike me as someone who like eyes open and you're like immediately.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It's like I wake up, and as soon as I see like Marley and Pi, and they're like kind of ready for the day already, like waiting on me to wake up, I'm like already like ready to play with them. So we'll like run downstairs and we'll throw the ball and go outside. So I'm like all ready. So I was up and I saw it. I'm like, no freaking way. Let's freaking go, baby. And then we went and golfed, and I was so stoked that I broke my driver in half. But
like, how did you break it in half?
Well, so
over your knee.
The real story, no. So the real story was, I was having such a great day, and I was golfing one of my favorite courses. So I was like just having fun and goofing off and messing around. And I wanted to try to hit the golf ball like a baseball, like the golf club was a baseball bat. Mm-hmm. And I did, but I hit it right in the middle of in the shaft, not with the head of the golf club. So it like just broke in half.
Oh my God. Well,
that's the real story.
You'll remember that for sure.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Now that you've got like a couple award shows under your belt, and like we go into these, like, do you still get nervous to go to award shows? Do you feel like is walking the red carpet like still? Are you like, oh my God, this is crazy?
Oh yeah. Well, usually because I'm in like clothes that like I don't really love, you know, and I'm like not comfy in, because
no one's comfortable.
Who loves to get into a suit? Not me. I'm like, give me a freaking t-shirt. So let's petition for like red carpets to not be, you know, hey, let me show up with a baseball cap if I want to. Anyways, you know, different thing for a different day. But yes, I do get nervous because you have to go talk to people, and for some reason they've always made me nervous.
Yeah. I mean, it's nerve-wracking. Like the energy is just kind of a lot.
And you're trying to match energy too. So
do you know yet if you might get a performance?
I don't know.
No? I was like thinking about this Luke thing. That feels like that would be a fun time to get to do that. But
yeah, I don't know if I'm even able to go. Womp womp.
Womp womp. You have something else. This is what always happens is like you guys make your schedules like a year and a half out, and we don't know when this stuff is going to be. All right. Well, we will. Hopefully that will all work out.
Hopefully it works out.
We'll be good. Something else I wanted to ask you about was the Big X collab. Talk about how this like came together, because like you and I, like growing up, like, you know, we've lived through a lot of like country hip hop collaborations.
Oh yeah.
And this always feels like it goes so well to me. Some people don't think that, but I love it.
Yeah. I mean, it was always when I heard Big X was doing a country album, I was like kind of bummed, because I was like, oh man, he didn't like hit me up. Like, I wish he'd hit me up, because I really want to do a song with him, because I know all of his songs. Yeah. So like, and where I'm from, we bump everything. So we bump rap on our 12-inch subs in the back more than we do like country. So like, I was like, grew up listening to like Drake and like, you know, a lot of rapper. Lil Wayne was a huge one. But like, so when I heard of Big X, I just had always loved his flow. And then when I heard he was doing the record, I was like, dang, how cool would that be? And then all of a sudden, one day he just sent me the song. And he was like, hey, man, what do you think of this song? And I was like, holy freaking crap, dude, this song is like freaking badass, dude. And then he was like, yeah, you should cut it and you should do it with me. And I'm like, dude, rock and roll, let's go. And then I cut it for the first time. And then, yeah, we like FaceTimed and he was like, bro, this song, man. I'm like, I know, like this song is sick. And then, yeah.
It's awesome.
And
it's
then
really
here we
exciting.
Are. Yeah, I got a freaking song with Big X.
Just like added to the list of like cool things that I feel like keep happening to you. So we've got the song's gonna come out, ACMs, then you are launching into tour and like album time. Talk about the New to Country tour. I know you're bringing out Dylan and Drew, which is gonna be so fun. Love both of those guys. Talk about taking them on the road with you.
Oh man, it's so fun because, you know, last year I got to tour with Josh Ross and Brandon Wisham, and that was so much fun. But Drew has been a buddy since I started and such a champion of mine before I even had a song out. So getting to, you know, it's kind of like a hometown thing. It's like,
another Illinois guy. Yeah.
You know, yeah, what up? You know, and so I think it's just going to be so much fun getting to go out with him. And then I've been a fan of Dylan for, since I moved to town, since I moved to Nashville. I used to put his songs on my story and be like, dude, Dylan Marlowe is like the move, dude. Like, if you're not listening to him, he's the move. And so it's so cool to see all of his success and like getting to bring him out on the road, because we're like, we get along so well. And me and Drew get along and we all get along so well. So like, we've already got all these like, you know, dates planned to like go mountain biking and go do all this crazy stuff. And oh yeah, the tour is going to be insane. And getting to tour with your friends is just like cherry on top, right?
Yeah.
Like, you get to tour with your freaking best buds and go mountain freaking bike riding and all this crazy stuff and we're playing Red Rocks, which is going to be so insane. And yeah, so man,
you guys are
I
gonna
could
have a
go
great
on
time.
and on. Oh yeah, we're going to have an insane time.
For sure. And then last question before we wrap up, you added another fur baby. You were talking about Pie and Marley.
Yep.
What is the story behind Pie's name?
So in 2023, when we were on the Morgan tour for the first year, after our set, my guitar player, his name's Brendan Orchard, we call him Brendo, he would go to catering and he would get a pie, an apple pie. So he would go on the bus, and at the time we were on one bus, so everybody was on one bus. And when he would sit down to eat his pie, he would like put it on his knees, and Marley would come up and lay her head on his leg and just be like, you know, hey, you gonna give me some of that pie, or, you know. And he would go, I know you want this pie, but you can't have this pie because this is my pie. And then we started calling her Miss Pie. You can't have this pie, like, you know, like whatever. So then Marley got the nickname Miss Pie because she just loved pie and really wanted Brendan to give her the pie. And so Marley was Miss Pie for a long time, like 2 years, until when I found Pie, she was like on the side of the road, like for sale on the side of the road. So I'm like, oh my gosh. And so when I picked her up, I was like, this is Pie. So yeah. And I thought, okay, if I call them Pie, they'll both come running to me because she's known as Miss Pie, but then this is going to be Little Miss Pie. And then that's how Pie is Pie.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
This is so
I just
cute.
thought it'd be cool if they both ran. It would be easy to get them both to come if I just yelled Pie. And then they would both come running.
They both show up. Oh
but
my
now
gosh.
they both run to when I just yell girls.
Yeah.
It's pretty cute.
They're so adorable. When I
you.
saw you got another golden, I'm like, I'm getting a golden this summer, so I'm very excited. I've wanted to do this for literally the last 10 years.
It's going to change your life.
I'm so excited.
My life is like a dream. Every morning you just have these like happy ass, they are the happiest dogs
Happiest.
ever.
Also,
and
is
they're
there
so excited.
There's no cuter puppy in the world than a golden retriever puppy. Like, you can't convince me.
Oh yeah. No, that's why I had been wanting a puppy before I got Pi, and I was like, man, it's got to be one of those moments though. It can't just be like, I'm gonna go buy a puppy. I'm gonna it's gonna be a calling from God. You need this dog. Because I'd wanted to get Marley a friend, because I'm like, man, she's about to be 4 years old. She needs she just mopes around all day, and so she needs somebody to play with. So then, Pi being on the side of the road was just like, perfect.
Oh my
freaking
God.
Pi, let's go. And I never regretted it. I was like, this is so perfect. I can't believe this happened. Yeah.
Wait, that's so
you'll never
funny.
regret it. Get a freaking golden retriever.
I know. I'm going
Yes.
to. I'm going to address this in case anybody can hear it. So while we've been sitting here, have you heard how Miles on It is playing downstairs over and over again? Do you hear this?
Well, I love Miles on It.
No, I know you do, but you're going to die when I tell you what it is. The Chippendales are setting up residency on the second floor, so the Chippendale strippers are downstairs practicing right now to Miles on It.
Chippendale strippers.
Yes.
I like.
Would not have thought that, right? So they were doing this last week, and I was like, who is playing Miles on It over and over again? It's so loud I couldn't record. So I sent my producer down, and he comes back up, and he's like cackling. He's like, you're going to die. It's the Chippendales. I was like,
What
I'm
are
going
the
down
Chippendale
there.
strippers?
What?
What are they?
You know what? They're like male strippers. Did you think that? Wait, oh my God. You don't know what the Chippendales? Yeah, the Chippendales. They're like male strippers. They wear like a bow tie and like black pants, and that's their whole shtick.
way.
Oh my God, I'm dead. Did you think there
don't-
were like female strippers downstairs right now?
I was so confused. I'm like, dude, this is insane right now. Like,
Oh, man.
honestly, Katie and company is the littest right now.
Well, it is going to be the littest. The Chippendale strippers are downstairs, but oh my God, so funny. Listen, thank you for coming in and for talking about this collab, your soon to be #1 song, the
Let's go.
ACM new album. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you so
You
much.
really do see, I would just from in the 2 years since we first talked, you have grown so much, and you should be really proud of that.
Thanks. No, thank you. I've been working on it, so it means a lot.
You're doing
for
good,
you
bud.
to say that. Thanks.
Of
Yes.
course.